Shohei Ohtani just continues to do stuff we've never seen before, and it's glorious. It really is. It's so much fun. But what would be a historic run without some accusations of scandalous behavior? This is baseball, after all, the most incredible reality TV show out there. Now, Ohtani himself has nothing to do with this thing being brought up recently, even though some are, of course, bringing up the whole situation when $16 million was stolen from his bank account to cover his translator's crippling gambling addiction, and going with the narrative that Ohtani knew about this and had his translator take the fall for him. Look, I don't trust the FBI, but I don't know what they'd have to gain by covering up a baseball player's scandal, and there are way too many people in the know about the truth of the situation to successfully cover Ohtani's guilt if he indeed did do any wrongdoing. So there are people who are going to want to bring that up at any chance they get, even though it's irrelevant now, whatever. But the actual new accusation going on is toward MLB and possibly rigging Ohtani's recent record-breaking home runs. Really quick, if you have a pulse, like the video and subscribe if you haven't yet, or just wait to see if you enjoy the video and then make a decision. That works too. So Shohei recently had maybe the greatest game in baseball history in Miami, going 6 for 6 with 3 home runs, all coming in back-to-back at-bats to get the 51 home runs on the year to go along with his 51 stolen bases, becoming the first player in baseball history to do that and have a 50-50 season. And according to Craig Smith of the Miami Herald Sports, the fan who came up with the 50th and record-breaking home run decided to walk away with it rather than meet with the team and give it back, and that's honestly understandable. I mean, that ball is probably worth, it is worth millions of dollars. So I don't blame anyone who would want to take that ball to the bank. I mean, that's life-changing money. Unless you're like the guy who got Aaron Judge's home run number 62 a couple of years ago in Texas. Someone who had a net worth of $25 million. So not him, but for most people, that's life-changing money. So again, totally valid move by this fan. And for those wondering how the ball can be proven as the actual ball if the fan wants to sell it, in this case, the fan didn't need to because the ball was already authenticated before Ohtani even hit it. As Craig Mish also reported that MLB used a special ball before he hit it, so he was pre-authenticated and they have the entire thing on video. Now, this isn't the only time Major League Baseball has done this. The biggest, latest examples of this is when Judge was racing for 62 and when Albert Pujols was on his way to 700 career homers, both being in the same year. And in the case of Judge, a study by a doctor found something interesting. 20 of the baseballs the research team got featured a commemorative stamp. For some examples, the 2022 Home Run Derby balls, World Series balls, or baseballs commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Texas Rangers' inaugural season. Those balls were effectively made for a particular circumstance and would never be used outside those specific events or home parks. And in the sample that was accumulated, nearly all of the specialty marked balls or commemorative balls were Goldilocks balls, aka a baseball that isn't too heavy nor too light, but rather just right. You know, Goldilocks and the Three Bears type shit. But here's the interesting part. 11 of those baseballs obtained from the research were from Yankees games, all found to be used in August, September, and the few regular season games for the Yankees in October in 2022. Those 3 months, of course, featured Aaron Judge's historic home run chase. Now, this wasn't necessarily proven or anything, considering the research was done by a third-party source, and neither is what fans are now accusing MLB of doing with Ohtani, but it's also something you shouldn't put past them. Fans are speculating that the home run balls Ohtani was hitting that were pre-authenticated were juiced, that MLB purposely did this to get Ohtani to break the record, so quote-unquote rigging it, or at least helping him out or whatever. And again, I wouldn't put this past MLB. This is the same league that messes with the baseballs basically every season. One year the ball is dead, the next it's juiced, then sometimes it's dead and becomes juiced in other moments. Like, this isn't some theory. It was several years ago, but not anymore because it's true. The players have spoken publicly about it. Some have blamed MLB for tampering with the baseballs depending on who the upcoming free agent class is. Like, if the top free agents on the market are hitters, they deaden the ball so those hitters are less productive and the owners get to pay less money. And if pitchers dominate the upcoming free agent class, they juice the balls for obvious reasons. Now, do we know that for sure? Obviously not. But the bottom line is MLB has been very inconsistent with how the baseballs are, clearly. And it's no secret that these special balls for Ohtani were actually authenticated and predetermined to be the ones that are pitched to him, because Ohtani himself said after breaking the record, quote, "If I'm being honest, it was something I wanted to get over with as soon as possible because the balls were being exchanged every time I was up to bat." So I wouldn't fully doubt that they meddled with the baseballs they knew would be pitched to Ohtani in a potential record-breaking moment. But either way, I don't think this should at all be an excuse to hate on Shohei. It's very common for people to want to look for the worst in people or things that are beloved or very good. I guess it's a natural human element, people wanting to take out someone who's on top. I'm sure you've heard the saying, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And that's not going to change. There are people out there, I'm sure, who would be ecstatic if Shohei was revealed to be an accomplice to Jeffrey Epstein or some shit. But me, I like Shohei. He's good for baseball. And MLB may be stupid and suspicious when it comes to handling the baseballs. And maybe they mess with Ohtani's balls, but that's not going to stop me from enjoying his greatness and rooting for the guy, and neither should it for you. Let me know your thoughts, and thank you for watching.